Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
And not so fast, Henry Cejudo. TJ Dillashaw and Dana White have responded to Henry Cejudo's champion vs. champion call-out, and although TJ Dillashaw is not going to turn down a fight from no man, he still said that he doesn't necessarily know if Henry Cejudo deserves the champ vs. champ super fight. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, whoa. We were just in the mindset of TJ Dillashaw potentially going down to flyweight, or even wanting to see Demetrius Johnson come up and fight TJ Dillashaw in a flyweight versus bantamweight champion versus champion super fight. Now Henry Cejudo dethroned Demetrius Johnson, and he's actually willing. We've got a new champion. He's willing to do the champ versus champ super fight, but now that it's a new champion, it's like TJ Dillashaw doesn't necessarily feel like this is the same fight for him. It's not the same opportunity for TJ Dillashaw, and he's right. I mean, if he would have moved down and beat Demetrius Johnson, for one, he would have been winning the second belt, and for two, he would be fighting the pound-for-pound consensus #1 fighter on the planet, so that would have been a huge legacy fight for TJ Dillashaw. If Henry Cejudo moves up to 135 pounds, for one, TJ Dillashaw is the one risking his belt. It's not like he's even winning a second belt. And for two, if he wins, he's not beating Demetrius Johnson, so the dynamic has changed. It's definitely a different fight, and TJ Dillashaw might not be necessarily as willing to take the Cejudo fight as he was the Demetrius fight. So we'll see what happens, but this is what TJ Dillashaw had to say. I don't really think the guy would deserve it. I mean, shoot, man, why don't we bring on Brock Lesnar, he said jokingly. But he continued to say, I mean, Joseph Benavidez just beat him. Yeah, Benavidez lost a split decision to Sergio Pettis, but I didn't agree with that loss. So I think there's a lot of stuff there. He's possibly got a trilogy fight with Demetrius Johnson. I'm open to whatever, though. I'm not stepping away from a challenge, that's for sure. So if the UFC wanted the fight, and you know what I'm saying, and TJ Dillashaw was presented with a Henry Cejudo fight, I don't think he would duck them, because like he said, he's not stepping away from a challenge, but he definitely doesn't feel as strongly about fighting Cejudo as he did about Demetrius Johnson. Now, with that being said, what do you guys want to see as the fan? I mean, a lot of people feel like Demetrius Johnson deserves the immediate rematch, and that's true. I completely agree. If any champion has ever deserved an immediate rematch, it's Demetrius Johnson. He's the longest reigning UFC champion in UFC history, and he lost his belt in a close split decision. So with that being said, you can't say he got knocked out in the first round or anything like that. I mean, if there's ever going to be a case made for an immediate rematch, it's Demetrius Johnson. Now, the saving grace for Henry Cejudo is Demetrius Johnson is injured. So if Demetrius Johnson is injured, his LCL is torn, and he said he's not rushing himself back, if he doesn't come back for 8 months or 6 months or however long that's going to take him to get back to 100%, well then that opens time for Henry Cejudo to fight somebody else in the meantime, in between time, while DJ heals up. So the options would be maybe the winner of Pettis vs. Formiga at UFC 229. But if not that fight for Cejudo, or a rematch with Benavidez, then this champ vs. champ super fight with TJ Dillashaw is one I would like to see. Hell, I mean, and we got a champion that's willing to go up. So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, one thing I didn't necessarily agree with in TJ Dillashaw's response about why Cejudo doesn't deserve a title shot is he said that he lost to Joseph Benavidez and he felt like Pettis won the split decision. So with that being said, I actually feel like Cejudo beat Benavidez, and depending on how you scored that fight, if he won the fight, he would be 3-0 since losing to DJ. I definitely feel like Henry Cejudo is the best flyweight in the world, not named Demetrius Johnson. If he fought Benavidez tomorrow, I think Cejudo would win. If he fought Pettis again tomorrow, I think Cejudo would win. And even if he fought Jussier Formiga, I think Cejudo would win. The only flyweight I see beating Henry Cejudo right now is possibly Demetrius Johnson in a rematch. So I don't necessarily agree with TJ Dillashaw saying Joseph Benavidez beat Cejudo. And you know, I get it. The judges scored the fight for Benavidez, but at the same time, your next point, you say that you feel like you didn't agree with the Sergio Pettis decision. So a lot of us didn't agree with the Cejudo decision. So we'll see what happens, but the good thing is TJ Dillashaw said he's not turning away from a challenge. So even though he's a little reluctant to fight Cejudo, it's still something that he's probably open to. Now, as far as is it going to be at 135 or is TJ still looking to move down to 125 pounds, we'll keep you updated. He didn't necessarily make that clear, but Cejudo looks like he's willing to fight him at either weight class, so that's a good thing to hear, and that's what Dana White had to say as well. He said, I don't know what the fight to make is right now for these two, but we'll see. Another thing he said is it's at least good to hear that they're willing to fight each other. You like when guys say yes to these opportunities and you know, they're willing to step up and fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. So that's a good sign, but at the same time, it might not necessarily be the right time for the fight. So with that being said, it is what it is. I'll keep you guys updated. TJ Dillashaw, Dana White have responded to the new UFC flyweight champion Henry Cejudo's champ versus champ call out, and TJ Dillashaw's actually a little reluctant, to my surprise. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect that. But he's got a great point. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a new video, or some of the time that I upload a new video, because YouTube's notification bell is a player hater. But this is one of the hardest working independent MMA channels on YouTube. We provide daily updates, full fight card breakdowns and predictions. We make MMA fighter freestyles, and we've already interviewed pro fighters Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Felony Charles Bennett, and Bruce Lushmedio in just a little over a year as an MMA channel. We're one of the fastest growing MMA channels on YouTube. So with that being said, if you're interested in more videos like this, check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over at patreon.com. One of the things you can see while you're over there are some of the goals of the channel, and also more free videos like this, betting advice, and more. We just launched the Full-Time MMA store over on teespring.com, and we've got some limited edition gear in order to celebrate that. We've got some day one Fook the Other Side shirts that are only available for a limited time. Also, you got leggings, phone cases, Don't Be a Bagel Biter, coffee mugs, and more. With that being said, you can check the links out in the description if you want to check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo or the Full-Time MMA store on Teespring. I apologize about the long outro, but a closed mouth don't get fed, and if I don't plug myself, who will? So respect. Let the Full-Time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.